Praise, honor, and esteem to the Most High Yahweh, where Yahushua HaMashiach. Let's get this John 5:39. Get your 1 Corinthians 13 right behind it. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's why I mentioned that thing there. Lay down. Lay down. Just lay down. Lay down. Fix your face now, because nobody believes you. Fix it. Come over here and sit with me. Come on, sit right here. Just sit right here. Sit right here. John 5:39.
It says, search the scriptures, for enemy think ye have eternal life, and there they will testify of me. And you will not come to me that ye might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Father's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and seek not the honor that cometh from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom you trust. For if you believe Moses, you believe me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my word?
1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1. Ask her to clean your nose.
Lauren, stop.
Y'all remember, right? Time go back tonight, right? So that means on Fridays by 8:15. So don't be shocked if you jump out around 8:45, 9 o'clock, and then it's well rolling, because sun go down early. So ain't no need to start at 9 o'clock.
1 Corinthians 13.
And 1.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and Malachim, and have not charity, I am as sounding brass, or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy, and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profits nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Charity suffereth long and is kind.
Mm-hmm.
Charity endeth not.
Mm-hmm.
Charity vaunteth not itself, and is not puffed up.
Mm-hmm.
Does not behave itself unseemly.
Mm-hmm.
Seeketh not her own.
Mm-hmm.
Is not easily provoked,
Mm-hmm.
and thinketh no evil.
Uh-huh.
It rejoices not in iniquity, but
Uh-huh.
rejoices in the truth.
Uh-huh.
Beareth all things, believeth all things, hoping all things,
Mm-hmm.
and endureth all things.
Endure all things.
Charity never fails.
It never what?
Never fails.
It never fails.
Whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it may vanish away.
That's good. Everybody understood what we looked at last evening. Did y'all understand that? I'll take that silence as a yes. So, what we looked at last evening is the aspect of how this man love never failed. That even though he divorced his wife, that he devised a means to get her back, not to find another woman to marry, not for her, because she had already done that. And the aspect of what I'm mentioning that for is this. Because individuals in the world, specifically individuals who profess the faith of the living Elohim, marry people for the wrong reasons, and they don't really love them. Not according to how this word says for you to love someone. You know what I'm saying? So in the aspect in reality, you actually are trespassing against the word because you are not following the directives that are given. You know how most people who are in the word in these days and times feel like, as long as I'm keeping the commandments, I'm straight. But then they not looking at you actually in reality, you should be taking on Yah's nature, and then you would be totally become him. I want you to get me Philippians 2 and 5, if you would, sir. Philippians 2 and 5. Philippians 2 and 5. Go ahead, sir.
It said, let this mind be in you.
Let this what?
This mind be in you.
What mind would that be?
Which was also in the Mashiach Yahushua.
And what mind did he have?
Who being in the form of Elohim thought it not robbery to be equal with Elohim.
He didn't think that he was taking anything away to make himself equal. Now, why am I mentioning that? I think it's in 1 John chapter what? 2, it might be 3. But I can't recall the exact verse right. We don't have time to look for it because I started too late. He said, as he is in the world, as Yahushua was in the world, so are we. That's the statement that is made. So the same way that he carried and conducted himself is the same way that we ought to carry and conduct ourselves. But we can go to 1 John chapter 2 and get me verse 3, though. We can do that. 1 John 2 and 3. And you like I say, like an individual was a dude I seen talking about, like if you truly love somebody, you don't never stop loving them. And people be like, you could go 20 years without seeing them, and you see them, and you start talking to them like you just talked to them yesterday, because there was a connection made. You can't break something that actual connection was made. That cannot be broken. So that's when I'm mentioning that, because Yah really loved Yasharal, more specifically Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Therefore, there was nothing that could be done to break that connection. That cannot be broken. Do you know what I'm saying? When most people be like, they can walk away from a nigga and they say they love them and it's beef and it's this, that, then the third, and they can't talk, and you didn't love that person for real. You know what I'm saying? You didn't love that person for real. Anything with anybody. If you love somebody, you always gonna love them. That don't mean you want to be with them. You know what I'm saying? But you just don't stop loving nobody, because the book say love never fails. So if you actually had love for somebody, it never stops. There's a difference in saying, I love you, but this ain't going to work. This is not going to work well for my sanity. You know what I'm saying? You can have love for a family member. I love you, but I can't fool with you right now based off of this. That don't mean you stop loving them. I never stopped loving Israel, ever. And we did enough for him to stop. Do you know what I'm saying? But he never stopped. I just can't fool with you right now. You know what I'm saying? But when I see you again, I still love you. See, the reason why we look at that, what you mentioned with that scenario, because people are insecure. So if a person, the reason why I say that, if a person with another person, and they say, I still love the person I was with, they take that as that's a threat to them. Clearly, if I wanted to be with this person, I'd have still been with them. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we can't understand that you can love somebody and not be. That's why you hear about people who were divorced and they ain't seen each other for years and see each other again and get remarried. Because they still love them. You know what I'm saying? But we had to stop fooling with each other, though. Might have been situations and circumstances where it was not beneficial for me to continue dealing with you. That don't mean I don't love you no more. Your mama or daddy could do something you don't like. That don't mean you don't love no more. I might can't fool with you in this particular capacity no more. I still love you, though. Because we take it that if somebody do something or something get broke off, that the love got to stop too. That's carnal stuff. That's natural man stuff. That's not the things of God. God don't teach that. And that's not how he operates. Go ahead, Mike.
We have 1 John 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
Mm-hmm.
He that said, I know him and keepeth not his commandments is a liar.
Is a what?
Is a liar.
And what else?
The truth is not in him.
Go ahead.
But whosoever keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of Elohim perfect.
Whoever do what?
Whoso keepeth his word, verily is the love of Elohim.
This is perfected. Now, what's one of the things we looked at? We seen in his word that one of his attributes is what? Long suffering or patience. And we seen that. We seen another thing that man said, the love of Elohim is not to be easily provoked or to abhor or to despise or to offend. Do you know what I'm saying? And we looked at that the way he didn't do that. We was the ones who did it. Now, I want you to just came in my head and I got to recall it. Oh, yeah. Get me John chapter 13 and verse 29. No, verse 32. John 13:32. Like, how many of y'all got friends that you love, but you don't fool with them no more? It might have not even nothing happened the way you don't fool with them no more. It ain't got to have it. Just because you stop having day-to-day dealing with somebody don't mean something negative occurred. Life took you this way, life took them that way. If you didn't talk to them for 10 years, if you saw them tomorrow, you're going to talk to them like you just talked to them yesterday. If you really love them, that's what's going to happen. You got a lot of people who got childhood friends, college friends. Life took them over here. Life took you over here. It wasn't no beef. Y'all didn't fall out. You know what I'm saying? And if you seen him, it's my nigga. And you going to realize you talking to this nigga like you've been talking to this nigga the whole 10 years. Because there was a real connection there. You was really connected to this person. Most people don't know what that's like because they not really, really probably connected to too many people or been connected to too many people. That's why when you see him, like, I'm going to talk to this nigga, or it's an offensive thing that they talking to you. Because you wasn't really down with them like that. Go ahead.
John 13.
And 32, but give me 30. John 13 and 30.
It said, when he then, having received the sop, went immediately out, and it was night. Therefore, when he was gone out, Yahushua said, now is the Son of Man esteemed, and Elohim is esteemed in him. If Elohim be esteemed in him, Elohim shall also esteem him in himself, and shall straightway esteem him. Little children, yet a little while I am with you, ye shall seek me. And as I said unto the Yahudim, whether I go ye cannot come, so now I say to you, a new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples.
If you what?
If you love one to another. And Simon Peter said unto him, Master, whither thou go? You shall answer them, where I go, thou cannot follow me now.
So what did he say? What new commandment did he give? That you do what? That you love one another. That love is based off of what you see Paul mentioning, and it says that Elohim is love, and whoever loves is of Elohim and born of him. So that means you have to look at the things of what he decrees of what that is, and if those things are present, then that love will never fail, it'll never cease. If those things aren't present, then of course it's going to cease. Most people that was in a relationship with somebody and it ceased, it was because one person loved them and the other person didn't. Or neither one of you did, and you thought it was love, and you just realized that you was infatuated, or that you were lusting. You know what I'm saying? Or it was a situation of convenience or circumstance. You know what I'm talking about? Because if you really love something, if it's real love, it don't stop. And I'm talking about, we're equating this to the love that Yah got for us, because it didn't stop. He could have easily wiped us out and started all over again. And say, I'm going to make me a new people and get me a new wife. I'm tired of the seed of Israel. Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, I'm sorry. I'll make me a people out of these people over here. I'm getting me a new old lady. And he didn't do that. So we seen that one of the attributes of love is kindness. Let's take ourselves to Jeremiah 31, if we will. Jeremiah 31 and 1. And this is where we'll bring back in that 2 Chronicles that we looked at last week. So you can get your 2 Chronicles 10 and 3 behind this Jeremiah 31 and 1. Jeremiah 31 and 1.
It said, at the same time said Yahuwah, will I be the Elohim of all the families of Yasharah, and they shall be my people. Thus says Yahuwah, the people which were left of the sword found grace in the wilderness, even Yasharah when I went to cause him to rest. Yahuwah hath appeared of old unto me.
He appeared of when?
Of old.
So you know old is going to be Olam, this old time, antiquity. This is the Lamb from the foundation of the world. And what did he say?
Yea, I have loved thee with an everlasting love.
With a what?
Everlasting love.
Go ahead.
Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn thee.
Now listen, he said he loved you with a what love?
Everlasting.
So if it's everlasting, that means it's what? So that means it don't fail. It don't stop.
So, you know.
So this is why Paul can make the statement that he making, that love never fails. It don't stop. Now we talking about looking at the aspects of talking about looking at the nuanced aspects of looking at things through the eyes of Yah and taking on his nature, because he said he didn't think it was robbery to make himself equal with Elohim, and Paul said that we need to have that same mind, the same mind that the Son had. So he had an everlasting love. Read that 2 verses again.
It said, "You have appeared unto me of old, saying, Yea, I have loved thee with the everlasting love.
And will draw you with what?
Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn thee."
Pause. When you hear the word loving kindness, what are some of the things that come to your mind that are contained in loving kindness? And I'll work my way around this room. You hear loving kindness, what's some of the things that's contained in that for you? Not what you think I want to hear the answer is for you.
When I think of loving kindness, I think about somebody that loves you, who loves you through your flaws and have mercy to help you develop past them.
Very well. Darius, when you hear loving kindness, what do you hear for you? What does that mean to you?
Just gentle and like everlasting love, long love.
Lisa, when you hear loving kindness, what does that mean to you? You should have been paying attention. You should have been paying attention. Ask your husband. No, you wasn't. You were sitting there playing on your phone. The word love and kindness, what does that mean to you? You ought to pay attention next time.
Love and kindness to me means I'm loving and kind. I'm gentle.
Well, you need to go back to the bathroom. Go back to the bathroom and think about your answer.
You already started. I feel like when I think of it, I think of like gentle. Yeah, gentle.
All right, D, it's your turn. Because I don't think nobody in the world think of that when they think about Khaleesi, when they hear that. Not even yourself. It's your turn, D.
I know. I just think about mercy.
What about you, Sailor? Very well then. What about you, Monte? What's up, cuz?
So what was the question exactly?
What does love and kindness mean to Monte? When you hear that, what do you think of?
You better not budge.
Time.
Time? Well, go ahead, Nisha.
I would say patience, loyalty, kindness, forgiveness, mercy.
What about you, Johnny?
First thing I think about is Yahusha, just his sacrifice, and then, go along with that, like grace and mercy.
All right, what about you, sir?
Being patient through the thick and thin.
What about you? Very well then. I want you to get me Exodus chapter 34 and get me verse 6. I'm going to get it in a moment. Eugene.
You can give your answer.
He gonna let the word speak.
So live.
As you were.
Now they ain't here cup. You steal it. You steal it.
Hey, you supposed to sit down, son. Sit down. Sit.
You got him out here with his soldier pants on. He don't know what to do. Exodus 34 and 6. You can make a verse 4 though.
Follow. 34.
And he got his soldier pants on. He said it's time to go to war. Time to get into some stuff.
Sit down.
Then he said you want to put me on a dress shirt with it. He said this ain't gangster.
What's that business?
I need
34.
34 and 4. He said I'm a refined soldier. He said I'm ready for a meeting with the colonel and to go out in the field.
And he hewn 2 tables of stone like unto the first. And Moses rose up early in the morning and went up to Mount Sinai, as Yahuwah had commanded him, and took his hand the 2 tables of stone. And Yahuwah descended in the cloud and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name of Yahuwah. And
Christian, they
Yahuwah
can't.
passed by before him and proclaimed,
What did he proclaim?
Yahuwah, Elohim, merciful and gracious.
He what?
Merciful and gracious.
And what else?
Long suffering.
And what else?
And abundant in goodness and truth.
What else?
Keeping mercy for 1,000 and forgiving iniquity.
He does what?
Keeping mercy for 1,000 and forgiving iniquity.
Mm-hmm.
And transgression and sin. And that will by no means clear the guilty. Visiting the iniquities of the father upon the children and upon the children's children to the 3rd and 4th.
One of the aspects that we're going to look at as fourth is drawing you in loving kindness is the ability to forgive. You notice how he stated that? Now the psalm that's in my head, I can't recall the exact psalm at this present time, but it states that if there, he say, who would be able to, I think it's Psalms 130. Give me Psalms 130. Let me see. Psalm, yeah, it is. Psalms 130 and 1. Psalms 130 and 1. Hey. Get over there and sit down. You stay still. Don't let him get you in trouble. Psalms 130 and 1.
It say, out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Elohim. You will hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplication. If thou, Yahuwah, should mark iniquities, or Yahuwah,
If he should do what?
mark iniquities.
If he should do what?
Mark iniquities.
Uh-huh.
Who shall stand?
What y'all think that can relate to with a Mashiach? I done touched on it before, but it was very, very, very long time ago. I might not even know none of y'all at that particular time. This point to something the Mashiach did, who knows? If he was, read it to him again. Mm-hmm. Did he mark iniquity with them people? He said, what is his statement that everybody in the world loves to say? Cast the first stone. And what did all the people start doing? Dipping. Because if he would have marked iniquity, who would have stood? No one. No one would have stood. Go ahead.
It said, but there is forgiveness with thee.
There's what?
Forgiveness with thee.
Why?
That thou mayest be his fear.
That he might be what?
Be feared.
So he could be respected, right? That he might be respected. Listen what he say after that, because listen again, because this is also a part of love according to 1 Corinthians 13. Listen to verse 5, listen what it say.
I wait for you, my soul does wait.
He does what?
My soul does wait.
And what else?
In his word do I hope.
And his what?
His word do I hope.
So that's another aspect where you can really see, like, let's sit back and tell you, right? How you love Yah, you don't hope in his word. How's that possible? See, and one thing for certain, two things for sure. We read it last night. It said that, but get it for him again. You can get Hebrews 11 and 1. See, that be the main key thing if a nigga really love Yah or not. Where you talking about when niggas use the term being unequally yoked, but we're not gonna use that in the terms of being with actual or natural person, but use it in the terms of a person to Yah. How are you gonna be with Yah? You don't hope in his word. How is that possible? How you say you love him? That's impossible. Because guess what? If you ain't got no hope in Yah, your love for him gonna fail. That's why he said, you done forgotten us. He said, you forgot me. I ain't forgot you. You engraved on the palms of my hands. Yah ain't never forgot. His love has never, ever failed. Our love failed consistently. Our love failed because we want to do what we want to do. You know what the word part is? You'll have a nigga more concerned about letting his spouse down than letting Yah down. That's the saddest thing in the world. Huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shoot. I don't even want to imagine what his face would look like if I disappointed him. That got to be work. If you disappoint him, shoot. You worried about a nigga leaving you, you can get somebody else. He gonna kill you. And then wake you up and kill you again. Hey, Lee. That's Michael Glover right there. We ain't got no chair for you unless you want a little chairing seat. I know you did. That junk ain't nothing but a lunchbox. At least say speak for yourself. She said, I am with child.
Well,
Yeah, just know that that's the way to the bathroom, so you might want to keep that hallway clear.
yes, it is. Why not sit in the middle and pull them off?
What I got you at, man?
But either,
11-1, let it ride.
let it ride, man. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen.
Things not what?
Things not seen.
Mm-hmm.
For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Elohim, so that the things which are seen were not made of the things which do appear. By faith Abel offered Elohim a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, by Elohim testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaking. By faith Enoch was translated, that he should not see death, and was not found, because Elohim had translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony, that he pleased Elohim.
Go ahead.
But without faith it is impossible to please
It's
him.
impossible.
For he that cometh to Elohim must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
That's why he say, in your word I do hope. So if you hope in his word, what are you hoping in? Very simple answer. Now this is salvation, but the things that he promised. You hoping that he gonna do exactly what he said he gonna do.
Christian. No.
How many of y'all hoping somebody's word right now? I'm talking about a natural person. They tell you something and you hope they gonna do what they say they gonna do. It's no different. Ain't no different. If your husband told you, Lisa, why you looking all crazy in the sky? May the 1st, I'm gonna take you to Zimbabwe, then you gonna hope he gonna fulfill his word and take you to Zimbabwe. Shoot, niggas lie about stuff all the time. You can remind him every day till the time to dip, and he was like,
You know what I just got called?
no, it'd be like, a couple things went wrong. Or what? Shoot, you got people who fake whole pregnancies. Come on, man.
Why would they face something?
Shoot, people attention. Shoot,
Okay, well, you should have.
people do that all the time. Sometimes some people do it. I've seen instances where some people done it because they were pregnant, they lost a child, and they didn't want to tell nobody, so they played it all the way out. I mean, come on, man. You got people faking they love people. Shoot, and I ain't talking about in no relationship, faking like they down with a nigga, then put a bullet in a nigga brain. You know what I'm saying? Acting like they were down with you the whole time. Boy, I love you, boy. You know you my nigga. First chance he got, boy. Sent you on to meet your maker. You know what I'm saying? You thinking this person care about you and love you. People fake and pretend will lie about a lot of stuff. Shoot, why lie at all? John Gotti put it like this here. He say, I don't lie to nobody. He say, lie is a sign of fear, and I don't fear no man. I can't disagree with his assessment on that. Because that's why you lie out of fear. When you looked at when they was in that garden, what they were lying running for? Fear. Shoot, every person in here done told a lie. What you told a lie for? Because you didn't want to get in trouble?
Yup. That's what you were. Not you. I'm talking about mom.
They say not to you, so I ain't never lied to you. Shoot, sometimes getting in trouble mean you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Trying to avoid the confrontation. Either way it go, it had to be based out of fear. You're lying out to avoid confrontation. It's something you ain't trying to confront. Shoot, you know what the worst lie in the world is? Niggas who lie to themselves. Niggas lie to themselves, that's the worst lie. What we were just talking about before we started yesterday, right? He's like, the other night, he was like, well, he just want to see how a nigga walk away from the word. Niggas walk away because they been lying to themselves the whole time. That's what they wanted. I love y'all lying. You know what I'm saying? Lying. Right or wrong? What you say? Lying. Well, this junk ain't for everybody. Nigga be lying. Don't get it off your chest.
My dad lied and they told me he was gonna take me out to dinner for my birthday. They put me out of there.
That hurt your feelings, didn't it? See, that's a different type of lie. That's the I'ma snatch your reality and shoot you one lie. I ain't got no intentions on taking you nowhere.
Too old for that though.
But you know why he shot you that lie? For the fear that you would be upset if he didn't offer. But he's consistent.
There you go. Birthday, man. I wish I could do something for you.
Huh?
My daughter still ain't got that money. You did lie.
That's the word part is nigga lie to the child. Don't lie to the church. No. One thing about it, two things for sure. You ain't had no chance to do nothing. What did it say?
None of it says. I done seen grandparents kind of different. Sometimes the grandparents take advantage of me, like I did my shit wrong. I'm gonna make it up to my grandparents.
Some of them do that. My granddaddy tried to do that.
I done seen that.
My granddaddy tried to do that, make it up with us, because he wasn't on point. Then you got some grandparents, they was a piece of crap with your parents, and they a piece of crap with you. Some pieces of crap just stay pieces of crap, because guess what? You can put cinnamon on it, it still doodle. Straight up, it still doodle. I don't care how you try to spice it. You can spice it up all you want. It's still doodle. It's still doodle. Hey, y'all know y'all got to keep them voices down when people gonna put us up out of here. You can look crazy all you want. This day clock. Huh? We ain't gonna have nothing out there. It's gonna be over with. You got what you got. While you around here thinking these around here playing in these people's establishment, come on. Where you at?
Hebrews 11, right?
Yeah, well, I had something else, but now I done forgot. I don't want that yet.
Well, go back to
I need Luke 7. I need Luke 17:1. That's what I need. I know what I want. You know what you want?
I want you to make up your mind.
My mind was already made. Now I need you to turn the page. Straight up and down. The Luke 17:1.
He gonna always get it because he dropped it.
I'm just swift on my toes.
I'll let you have it.
Remember, because we talk about it as far as faith, and if you got faith in Elohim, I'm looking at the aspect of we should set something up, but we're going back to the aspect of dealing with forgiveness, because that's one of his attributes. And look at what he said here in Luke 17:1.
It said, then he said unto the disciples, it is impossible, but offenses will come. But woe unto him through whom they come. It is better for him that a millstone be hanging about his neck, and he cast it into the sea, than he should offend one of these little ones. Take heed to yourself.
Do what?
Take heed to yourself.
Do what?
Take heed to yourself.
Why?
If thy brother trespass against thee,
If he do what?
trespass against
What
thee,
he say to do?
rebuke him,
Correct him.
and he will repent and forgive him.
What does the book tell you about rebuke a wise man and he'll what? He'll what? Not just with glad. He said he will love thee. You know what I'm saying? So if your brother is a wise, that's why he said as many as, give me Revelation chapter 3 and verse 19.
It say, as many as I love, I rebuke and chasten.
So as
Be
many as he
zealous, therefore,
what?
and repent.
As many as he what?
He loves.
He does what?
Rebuke and chasten.
So be what?
Be zealous, therefore, and repent.
Now go to Leviticus 19 and get me verse 17. Make it 15. Leviticus 19 and 15. Matter of fact, just tell me what verse 13 says. For those of y'all in here that are married, how you feel your level of forgiveness is with your spouse? You looking at me like, shoot, I don't know, nigga, I don't live with y'all. You feel like it's pretty good. Lisa, how you feel about that? You feel like his level of forgiveness is pretty good?
Yeah.
What about your level of forgiveness? How you feel your forgiveness is?
If I said out loud about 3 times, then I'm good. I
What that got to do with anything?
Because I don't know how long. I said about it's about a day and then I'm good. So I feel like it's good.
A day?
Yeah.
You old grudge holding this.
No, because I got no, I'm not. I got
See a grudge holder?
I do not hold grudges.
The day's long.
Book say don't let the sun go down on your wrath.
Yeah, so you can.
Well, the day ain't too soon go down, so it's over.
What about you, Lee? Where you feel your level of forgiveness at? You feel like it's good? Great? Mediocre? Poor? What about you, Glover? What about you, Will? What about you, Shayla?
After we done hash it out on straight. Not if it happen again, you gonna have a conversation with yourself.
All right, now we're gonna see what the words say about that. Now I understand.
You can't have a conversation by yourself. I'm not gonna be one of them if I say it one time.
That's not scriptural. Naturally, I understand 1,000%.
So I gotta keep having a conversation.
Well, Yahoo Shop finna tell you. Go ahead. I'm gonna get to y'all. I just want her to read that. Matter of fact, he ain't ready yet. What y'all level of forgiveness at? Montana.
I think we good.
Think you good?
The next 30 minutes, we good. We don't be thinking about it.
No, we're in Luke 17.
Sometimes I'm upset with salty. Depends on the mood.
A little salty?
I'm forgiving, but I just.
You can help feel.
Yeah, but based off her statement, I want her to grab. I want him. No, that was but her statement caused me to go back. I apologize. Yeah, come back to Luke 17. What about y'all? Y'all ain't been married that long. Yeah, but at the most part, she like this hit shoe. Stop using your step stool. Just ask me to come get it for you. I got a mess with you because you ain't got nothing else to do. You ain't nothing for sure. Ain't nothing you can do. But come on. Come on, Leviticus 17.
Luke 17.
I mean Luke 17. Go on, read finish verse 4.
It says, and if he trespass against thee 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day turn again thee saying, I repent, thou shalt forgive him.
That's why I sit back looking at it. That's if they come and say they repent, you got to forgive them according to the word. Look at what question Peter finna ask.
And the apostle said unto him, Master, increase our faith.
Oh, Paul, that was in a different location because he told Peter how many times what? 7. Yahushua told him if he trespass again. Now I'm just telling you what the Lord say. Now what you choose to do, what you choose to do. That's only if they come back and repent.
But she said that. She said she's gonna have a conversation one time, he's gonna say he's sorry.
But the other spot, Yahushua said, if they do it again and come back to you and say they repent, he said you gotta forgive them.
It's circumstantial, though.
No, it's not in here. It's no circumstance. No circumstance. You going to
It's
hell.
natural. I'm saying it's natural.
But I'm not talking about natural. I'm not talking about natural.
So
He
not
did.
forget anybody in here, but if your husband cheat on you once, you go back and say, oh, I'm so sorry, you come back and do it again. Oh, it's okay.
You going to hell?
I'm saying, but you say.
See, you looking at forgiveness as I'ma still be with you. See, you looking at forgiveness in the wrong aspect. Oh, we gonna still stay married, this, that, then the third. I ain't talking about no staying married. You walking around mad and you ain't forgave them because they did that, but you want y'all to forgive that your trespass, you going to hell.
I'm happy in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, I ain't say nothing about you ain't got to stay with them. We didn't talk about that last night. Your husband cheat on you, your wife cheat on you. You can forgive them. You don't got to stay married to them, but you can't marry nobody else while they're alive. You know what I'm saying? But you got to, and see, we got to always realize something. You got to realize something. Forgiveness is really not for the other person. It's to take the burden off of yourself. Because you're going to be walking around mad, and get what? They ain't mad. You know what I'm saying? You being mad is not affecting them. You not forgiving them is not affecting them. It's affecting you. But then I can't recall where it said, you know when it's at where he tell them 70 times 70? Yeah, pull that. Somebody pull that from me. But I'm gonna be honest with you though. In this society, Matthew chapter 8. 18:22. Give me 18 and 18 though. I'm gonna tell you like this here though, right? In American sense, in this modern sense, y'all be like, you can tell that man to get out, but y'all scripturally, you don't have the authority to tell a man to get out.
Facts.
You don't have that authority. I mean, you don't have. He can say you can tell him to get out of the room, but scripturally, if he say you get out, you got to go because he don't have to obey you.
You mad, you get out.
Does that mean that's what's going on? If he was see, I don't care about no real man. If he was a godly man, he would have never cheated on you in the first place. But that's neither here nor there though. But the thing is you don't have that authority to tell him what to do and that he has to do it.
I respect that.
You don't have that authority. Not to the point where he got to listen. He may choose to listen to negate conflict. But you could be like, you gonna go sleep on the couch. And that nigga be like, shoot, bet I sleep right here. What you gonna do? Yeah, that's your choice. That's your choice. But see, y'all looking at the aspect of it of forgiving, like reconciling and being together. That ain't what he talking about. Because guess what? If you can't do it, you going to hell. Because don't go asking y'all to forgive you for nothing. You can't have that attitude. That's carnal. You can't have that attitude. Because you going to go to Yah and ask him to forgive every fornication, every lie, every piece of idolatry. And he ain't going to sit back and be like, I ain't going to forgive you for that. I'm still mad. He ain't going to do that. He ain't going to do that. That's what love is. Remember, we're looking at what love is. And love is kind. And forgiveness is a part of kindness. It takes a level of kindness in an individual to forgive someone. See, now it done got real. It done got real. It done got real. Matthew 18 and 18. I appreciate you too, Derek. We want nothing but a chapter over.
It said, verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in Shamahim, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in Shamahim. Again I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth at touching anything that they should ask, it shall be done for them, my Father which is in Shamahim. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Then came Peter to him, saying, Master, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him?
How many times should I forgive him? And listen to what the master tells Peter.
Till 7 times.
Till 7 times. What did he say?
And Yahushua said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Therefore is the kingdom of Shamahim likened unto a certain king, which would take account of his servants. And when he had begun to reckon, one had brought him which he owed 10,000.
Pause. Now he go to talking about that parable of them talents of the one who he forgave everything he had, and that one nigga who he forgave wouldn't forgave a nigga who owed him. See, that's where it get ugly at. You can't come asking, begging your master for forgiveness, and somebody asking you for the same thing, and you like, no. Can't do that. You're going to have to put your flesh to the side. That's your soul on the line. Go on and finish the parable out for him. I ain't going to kill nothing.
It said, but for as much as he had not to pay, his master commanded him to be sold, and his wife and his children, and all he had, and payment to be made.
Yes, sir.
The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Master, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. It said, then the master of the servant was moved with compassion, and loosened him, and forgave him the debt. But the same servant went out and found one of his fellow servants which owed him 100 pence, and he laid hands on him, and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me what thou owe. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet, and besought him, saying, Have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. But he would not, but went and cast him in prison till he should pay the debt.
Go ahead.
So when his fellow servants saw that what was done, they were very sorry, and came and told their master all that was done. Then his master, after that, he called him, said unto him, O wicked servant, I forgave
He called him, oh, wicked what?
Wicked servant.
Oh, wicked what?
Servant.
Why he called him wicked?
I forgave thee all thy debt, because thou desired me. Should thou also have had compassion on thy fellow servant, even as I have had pity on thee? And his master was wroth, and delivered him to the tormentors, till he should pay all that was due unto him.
Go ahead.
So likewise shall my heavenly Father do also unto you, if ye from your hearts forgive not everyone his
So
brother.
you from your where?
Your heart.
From your where?
Your heart.
So you got to forgive him. See, you look at forgiving. See, again, you have to take out what you equating forgiving is in that particular scenario that I got to take you back. You know what I'm saying? If this person came to you seeking compassion and pity, most of y'all said in here that y'all took forgiveness or loving kindness to be what? Pity and compassion and mercy. That's where the forgiveness come in at. He say he drawed you with loving kindness. Well, what was Yahushua drawing you back with what? Forgiveness of sins. Right or wrong? Let's get that Matthew 6 for him real quick. Of course, the scenario that we mentioned is an extreme scenario. You know, if your spouse cheat on you, I can't tell you if you can take them back or not, because that's a decision you got to make. I don't have to live with that decision. But anytime somebody done came with me with that before, you got to ask yourself, can you deal with it? And if you can deal with it, then take them back and don't ever mention it again. Because if you mention it again, you ain't forgave them. The reason why I mention that because y'all say, I blot out your sins in a thick cloud. Y'all's not going to bring up to you what you did in the past. He's not going to mention it. Once he forgive you for it, it's blotted out and he's not going to mention it. So if you done forgave him for it and you going to take him back, then don't, and I felt like that before the word, don't mention it. But if you going to still mention it and bring it up, that means you ain't forgave him and you might need to step away from them for a season. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not going to be beneficial for either party to continue in that fashion. Because when you forgive somebody, you leave it alone. You don't throw it in their face. You know what I'm saying? You got to leave it alone. But see, I say that's an extreme scenario. Because in a scenario like that, you can't tell somebody, oh, if your wife cheat on you, take her back. I ain't got to live with her. You know what I'm saying? If your husband cheat on you, girl, you need to take him back. I can't tell you that. I ain't got to live with him. You the one got to live with that. Some people might can't deal with that.
Every time I see you, I see God.
You know, it's worse. Like, it's hard on a woman. It's worse on a man, though. The reason why it's worse on a man, because a man can have sex with anybody, and it means absolutely nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? It do, though. But I'm talking about the fourth example. But a man, though, shoot. It's pride, but then it's the fact that a nigga know that you let another nigga in your thighs. He can't deal with that. You made it. You feel, but for a man, he don't go into sex looking at how a woman looking, going looking into sex.
Right.
These niggas hit bases. It's niggas who done cheat on their old lady with smokers and junkies. I'm just being honest with you though.
It's pride.
They don't necessarily be no pride. But that's the difference. The reason being is though, if you a woman, y'all just don't lay with somebody just to lay with them because you just were horny and they was there. And that's a whore.
That's the same thing. It don't mean that, and then they go home. Point like here, end the story. No one here. Thank you.
You say what you want to say. These niggas will have no feelings attached to this nigga and move on to them and go back home. But these niggas be hitting bases.
Thank you. That's a whole
Bases.
Exactly. But he's called. But he said they're a hoe. Man, not.
Why he not a hoe?
I didn't say he wasn't. Y'all assume that.
You say he a hoe
You
too.
never said it was.
No, but I'm saying there's no feelings attached to him. How a woman.
That's a hoe then. That was
All both of them hoes.
Thank you.
But you got most of the time, but I'm talking about most women ain't with a nigga and sleeping with 4-5 different niggas. Oh, but one thing about that woman was she was a ragged slut before he met her and he knew it. You know what I'm saying? And she may have known that too. But when a nigga knowing he got a good woman, she don't do this, that nigga heart be broke. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas don't have no attachment to it. I can't speak on that with no man about forgiving them, but I know a nigga feel. Yeah, because he feel like, boom, you had an emotional attachment to this nigga. That's how a nigga look at it. It must have been something about this nigga you really like. Okay, I didn't say that it was accurate. I said that's how a nigga view it. That's how he sees it. That's his perspective. That's his perspective. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you gonna be with this nigga and swap me out? I wasn't finna swap you out for this hoe. A nigga hit a hoe, he ain't finna swap out. That nigga just called his hoe, he a nasty bastard. And when he trying to get his rocks off and you ain't around and he in a particular area, that's where he gonna go at. He don't want to be with her. He don't want to live with her. They really don't though. Cause they don't really don't though. I ain't never lived like that. But I've been around niggas who that's how they felt. I'm just telling you perspective. I ain't saying it's correct or right or wrong. I'm just telling you how niggas think though. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, I seen niggas got nice looking women in the house and will let that baser suck them up. That nigga don't want to be with this smoker. She just was there.
But that is plenty of niggas that got more than basics.
Shoot, you got some of them got sides, bases, cokeheads, and all. Cause honestly though, as nasty as it sounds for a man, a vagina is a vagina, and they don't care what it's attached to. They don't care what. Shoot, I'd say, boy, if they ain't got no ideals for about 85% of them. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? Nigga don't be caring. Big box. 450 engine. I'm trying to tell you now. I'm just trying to tell you. I ain't saying it's right, but hey boy, I've been around enough niggas to know, boy, they don't care what that vagina is attached to when they trying to get off.
He looking at himself like, what you doing?
Cause unfortunately, all jokes aside though, and y'all done heard the statement said like, nigga don't think with your little head. Most men think with their penis. Most men think with their penis, they don't think with their brain. So then they allow their penis to get themselves in situations and circumstances that they regret later. You know what I'm saying? I ain't say nobody right or wrong. Cause shoot, nigga, the same way you talk about this, you got some niggas like what Johnny just mentioned and how I was like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying, nigga, you bugging. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, what's wrong with you, boy? Boy, this situation, my homeboy, that nigga left his old lady, and the woman he left her with, she was bad now, but the nigga like, boy, you need to go home, cuz. Oh, where your old lady at? Nigga, they ain't got nothing to do with that, nigga. You need to go home. You tripping. You know what I'm saying? That woman been riding with you. You cheating on her doing this here, nigga, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? Most niggas ain't gonna say nothing. You got some niggas, if you know your homeboy got a solid chick and you wildin', nigga gonna be like, boy, you need to tighten up, boy. You bugging. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, man, niggas like this here, man, these niggas horn dogs, and they really get themselves in situations and you ain't sold all your wild oats. So niggas feel like they want to sow all their wild oats, and their old lady should be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have no emotional attachment to the people they hit. Just like this nigga said his homeboy hit the base asking himself, what you doing while he hitting her? Steady hitting her though. Ain't gonna stop. How many niggas just said? Cause niggas is nasty. Man, the average nigga nasty, he don't care. She offering, that's just what we were talking about before. Most niggas ain't turning down nothing. They can have a good old family to the house, and most niggas ain't turning down nothing.
Women turn down sex every day.
Every day, because if it's shoot, y'all get offered sex way more than men do. Shoot, niggas been offering y'all penis since y'all titties started sprouting. Shoot, you may have not realized it, but you are. You've been offered. Probably a woman get offered penis at least 3 to 5 times a day. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shoot, if a man got offered a vagina 3 to 5 times a day, that nigga wouldn't know what to do. That nigga have a conniption in him, man. That nigga like, what? Straight up. Why are you playing? Why are you playing? Niggas offering penis on statuses and instant messages and all that. Shoot, for the wrong pervert. Because I definitely had some women told me that they like niggas' statuses for the simple fact that they was interested and that was their way of letting them know.
Oh yeah, especially if she undercover. That's what I mean.
Shoot, I always looked at it as you like the photograph or you like the status. No more, no less. Shoot, not for me. It wasn't that serious. Okay, I look at it as you like the picture. It could be something going on, but guess what? Some people done got themselves embarrassed, thought something was going on because the nigga liked the photograph. No, cuz I just like the picture. Now you sitting there looking like this here.
They like multiple pictures. How you know?
Shoot, I done seen people like multiple pictures and they ain't want nothing to do with you. See, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's an ego thing. Nigga feel like, oh, they like my picture, they like me. That's just they like the pictures. Nigga liking your pictures don't mean a nigga want you. You know what I'm saying? Cause guess what? Cause the people who told me that, I'm like, shoot, I definitely didn't think you liked me, cuz. I just thought you liked the photograph or the status. This
Yeah, you know, you in the game like we in the game.
yeah, that mean you nigga lame. You heard this nigga? Get to Leviticus 19 and 13. You ain't in the game like we in the game.
I'm just saying, man, he ain't come up with it.
Nigga, ain't none of y'all did neither.
Facebook came out and I was like 10th grade. Nigga had MySpace and all that. Social media.
Oh, you had MySpace?
Oh no, I was in prison.
I think that's what you talking about. You wasn't there for the evolution of getting hoes online.
Yeah.
Shoot, nigga was getting hoes online on chat room for years.
You would?
Not me, but it was being done. That wasn't my thing. Yeah, that wasn't my thing. Sitting on the chat line or the AOL chat line, that wasn't my thing. My homegirl introduced me to that in 2001. Them first chat lines, the precursor to Facebook on the computer, on AOL. That wasn't my thing. Come on, man. Leviticus 19 and 13. That wasn't my thing. I bet you do. Mingling and bingling. You a married woman. You ain't got no business mingling. That what you found there? Say you ain't find that nigga on Fat Ass. You found that nigga on Christian Mingle, huh? Defiling the Lord. Defiling the Lord.
First off, when you met me, I was half Christian.
He got what he wanted.
Got what he wanted. A halfway Christian.
You know, the church now one day when I'm talking to you.
I said half Christian.
I still went for the communion.
Oh, I love communion. Just used to go to the first Sunday.
All right, let's get to the next.
What's the P name on it?
Leviticus 19 and 13. Y'all niggas gonna go to hell. Y'all don't keep y'all out of hell. On Christian Mingle. Y'all gonna go to hell.
It said, thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night in the morning.
Don't hold nobody money all night. You got it. Go ahead.
They can do that all the time.
Shoot.
The nigga be calling you about money, I know you got it.
Shoot, bet you told a lie from hell, cause boy, Gator Boy's finna catch this pistol. I told Shady that last night, boy, these niggas keep playing my money. I'm going to Dwight House, I'm going to get that heat, boy. I'm going to Middleburg. And I get some understanding.
Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind, but shalt fear thy Elohim. I am Yahuwah.
Mm-hmm.
Ye shall not do unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor.
You just don't do what?
Y'all shall not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shall thou judge thy neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among your people.
Who remember what talebearer means? Don't be a slanderer. Hey, Liam. Go ahead, man. Leah, do you want to say? Come on, Leah. Stand on up then. All right, come on, Leah. Go ahead, man.
It says, thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among your people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor, because I am Yahuwah. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart, and thou shalt in no wise rebuke thy neighbor and suffer sin upon him.
So in any wise, you need to do what with your neighbor?
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So if you rebuke him or you correct him and you don't suffer sin on him, guess what that mean you would do? What would that be?
Maybe you love him.
That would mean you love him.
You love your neighbor as yourself.
You read the next verse. That's what he's gonna tell you.
It says, thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Mhm.
I am Yahuwah.
So you see why he told you ought to forgive? Because you want y'all to forgive you, right? He said he gonna draw you with loving kindness, meaning he's drawing you with forgiveness. What else was he drawing us with? When he was preaching the gospel, what was the tenet of the gospel to do what? What's the first thing he told you to do? Repent. So if you repent and turning from your sins, then guess what he offering you? Forgiveness. Matter of fact, let's look at
He offering mercy.
he offering mercy. He offering grace. That's what he offering. So this is a part of the aspects of love according to the text. Let's go over here to 2 Chronicles 10 and 5. Where's Abigail? What you do with Abigail? What you do with Abigail? What you do with Abigail?
Stop.
Did you leave her home? Second Chronicles 10 and 5. Second Chronicles 10 and 5.
It says, and he said unto them, come again unto me after 3 days, and the people departed. And King Rehoboam took counsel with the old men that had stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, saying, what counsel give ye me to return an answer to this people?
What was the counsel that he gave?
And they spoke unto him, saying, if thou be kind to this people, and please them, and speak good words to them, they will be thy servants forever. But he forsook the counsel of the old man that gave him, and he took counsel of the young men
Listen what he said, they'll be your what forever?
that were brought up with him.
He said if you do what to him, if you talk what to him, kind to him.
Said if you talk kind and speak good words, they will be your servants forever.
So when you know you got the word told, however you want to pronounce it, depending on who you talk to, what characters you got for that? You know off the top of your head? So what would y'all come up with that? Ta Uwemba.
The word established you to the house.
Anybody
The
else?
word join you to the house.
You got Ta Uwemba.
Yeah. But you can use that son for the body.
You use something for bot. What you gonna use for Ta? What you gonna use for Ta, Darius? Go ahead, Stanley. He ain't ready yet. Come on.
What was the next one?
Uwemba.
Said the son is security to the covenant.
Mm-hmm. That's what you got. What about you, Darius? What you say?
Join together. To secure into the house.
Yeah.
What about you, Bike, Salem? You want to take a shot at that little muffin? What about you, Callie?
I don't know the circumstances,
Huh?
the surrounding circumstances.
What you mean, son?
Like what he said before, he said the parent.
Oh, he said you speak good to your
Speak
servants.
good.
Speak good to the
kind
people. They'll
to
love
the
you
people.
forever. They'll
And
be your
good to
servants
them,
forever.
they'll be your servants forever.
What was the top?
Ta Uwemba.
That's what I'm saying. Did you say the answer for that?
No, we asking for yours.
Yeah. Your birthday's coming. How old are you? You're already 5. How old are you gonna be?
We did join together in the house.
Or what you gonna use for time?
Join together.
Yeah, Tyler is going to go.
Or you leaving out the,
Both of them join together.
they had it in there, don't mean that's what you got to use. Child got
So
other
join
things.
together to be with? No.
Child got marked, covenant, sealed.
So maybe the covenant join together?
I think that's the best one.
Anybody want to try? Callie or Johnny or Dee or Lisa or Lee or Mike?
Or to the son.
To secure the joining to the son.
Good, you speaking good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
But remember, right, he said, right, if you speak kindly, they'll be your servants forever, right? We looked in Jeremiah 31, and he said he'll draw you with what? loving kindness. So that means we would need to take a look at some of the words that Hamashiach spoke, wouldn't it? And see what he used to try to draw you in. So let's take a look at Matthew chapter 6. Yeah, you can say it. So we ain't using that. Probably one of them. Matthew 6, tell me what verse 20 says.
Matthew 5.
6,
6 what?
20. Tell me what that says.
It say, but lay up yourselves treasures in the Shalahim, where neither moth or rust do corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thy eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee shall be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Elohim and Mammon.
Just keep going. Tell me what that says. Thank God. Thank you.
Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, or what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. It is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Which of you, by the taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature?
Now, Luke, pause. Now, of course, y'all know this particular statement that he making. Now, how would you feel like that would be the loving kindness of Yah that he using to draw you with? Because he'll take care of you. That he'll supply you what you need. How does that apply to anything in the law?
Chris.
When you fed them the manna and gave them their clothes.
He told them in the wilderness, your clothes ain't wax old. Anything that you required or you needed, I gave it to you. And see, then that goes into the part of when he talking about husbands, love your wives as a Mashiach loved his. Because what did he say to this woman? Because this is what I was talking with bro with this morning, right? A lot of dudes don't sit back and look at this. If you serve your wife like the word tell you to serve your wife, then you wouldn't have to be worried about your wife obeying and submitting to you because she would do it willingly. You wouldn't even have to ask. It wouldn't be a question. You would never utter out of your mouth, my wife don't submit to me. Maybe your wife don't submit to you because you don't love her with a godly love, which would cause her to do it willingly or with a delight. You understand what I'm saying? There's a reason why the text tell you to do that. But who knows by definition what nurture means? Because I don't know the textbook definition. Somebody can look it up. I don't know the textbook. I have a roundabout thing, but I don't know the exact textbook definition. No, wean is to get somebody off the thing.
We already talked about this.
Yeah, but I don't remember the textbook definition of it. And there's not an equivalent in Hebrew, if I'm not mistaken. So it tells you that a husband is supposed to get it for him, 5 and 25. So if you nurture someone, you're supposed to care for them. You're supposed to grow them or develop them. When you turn around and you look at that, that's what a Mashiach did. He cared for his wife. That's why Peter said, cast your cares upon Elohim, because he cared for you. So you're supposed to care for your spouse. We know Yahushua cared for his. And that goes back to what we were talking about last night. Yah cared for his wife. He cared about her. Even when she was disobedient. And when you look at those attributes of what, see when you look at most people talking about somebody caring about them, it's usually somebody caring about them to their personal desires. That don't mean somebody care about you because they do the stuff you want them to do. That don't mean they care. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get it confused at, because like a brother mentioned, well, it was an older lady mentioned, most people's marriages and relationships don't last because most people are selfish. Once I'm not happy and I'm not getting what I want, then I want to leave. You know what I'm saying? But godliness, that's not how it's set. It's supposed to be opposite. You're supposed to be serving the other person. They supposed to be serving you. You ain't too concerned about what you getting because you concerned about what you giving them, and vice versa. That's how it's supposed to be. Because that's how Yah loved and he operated. You ain't never hear Yah talking about, oh, y'all don't care about me. I'm not happy no more, so I'm a dip. We was the ones doing that. He never did that. We did that. That's why he said, I got a controversy with you. Plead with me. Please tell me where I've offended you at. Let me know. And we ain't never had no answer. Other than you ain't getting what you want when you want it, so you mad. We want a king. We want flesh. It's always what you want. That's selfish. And that's why the love of Elohim wasn't in them people. Come on, man.
Ephesians 5:25. It says, husbands, love your wife, even as the Mashiach also loved the assembly and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself an esteemed assembly, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be kadosh and without blemish. So all men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. It says, for no man ever hated his own flesh, but nourishing and cherishing it, even as Yahuwah has the church, has the assembly, or even as the master of the assembly.
So if you're talking about nourishing, that means he moved for the growth and development of the people. And one of the aspects we already read that was in the Matthew 18 when he gave them the parable about forgiveness. That was for the growth and the development of the people. Who can think of some of the aspects when Yahushua cared for the people and therefore nurtured them? Now, but why did he feed them? He said, if I don't, they're going to do what? They're going to faint. They're going to fall out of the way. So his concern was more so about them than what he was, me sliding back over here. But it's more aspects of that. Every time he healed an individual, it was because he had a care for them. You know what I'm saying? So then when he tell you to arm yourself likewise with that same mind, and then you see that he said that love is kind, to have care for somebody is because you're kind or you're merciful or you're compassionate towards them. How many times did it say he looked on somebody and he was moved with compassion? That means he cared, which means that's loving kindness, and then that's why he spoke good and kind words to them. So then when you look at that's your wife, then common sense will tell you if you're supposed to dwell with her according to knowledge, you should be speaking good and kind words to her. And then she'll be your servant. Because the book tells the woman to serve her husband. So when and for lack of a better term, even though the man's supposed to be a servant as well, if you want this woman to serve you and be obedient to you and submit to you, then serve her and speak good and kind words to her, and she'll do it willingly. You won't have to worry about it. Look at what Yahuwah did to get us this. When we came up out of Egypt, did he use harsh words? He spoke kindly to us. You know what I'm saying? He told you, hey, speaking good words, I'm going to bring y'all out. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Then he got him in the wilderness. Did he speak harsh to him there? No. He said, I'm going to give you a land. You asked for manna, he gave you that. You said you ain't had no water, he gave you that. Your enemies came up against you, he slew them, steady promising you what he was going to give you, and you bucked against him. He always draw people with his mercy and his kindness of his word and his promises, but we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? We'd rather go around somebody else who's not going to exhibit any godly love and say, let me get that, and then take my earrings out and fashion it and I got a golden calf and this my God. That's what we like to do. You know what I'm saying? That was the scenario what I would tell you with that older woman and that young man. You went and grabbed this nigga. That's your golden calf. See, y'all sent me this man. No. Y'all didn't do anything. You did that. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't want to wait on him. You don't hope in him. And now you got what you got. You know what I'm saying? That's how it happened. You don't want that to happen to you. Well, I got your hold again. Oh, Matthew 6, I don't need that no more. Let's take a venture to,
Chris.
tell me what Luke 10 say, man. Let me see what I got. Exactly, though. I'm just making sure, because you got it, you're chewing on it.
Is nourish and nurture the same thing?
No, nourish and nurture are two different things, because to nourish something is, nourishment is to feed somebody something for the sustaining of the body. Yeah, go ahead with that Luke 10 and 25. In the same way he told you to nurture and to cherish. I know you know what it is to cherish, son. I mean, you hold it of great value. Because like I said,
That's why I asked, because it says nourish.
man, I ain't never seen nourish on
Just say nourish. But that's not what it says. That's why I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Just say nourish.
You gotta feed, sustain, that's what nourish means.
Right, but
It said, behold, a certain Lord stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life? And he said unto him, what is written in thy Torah? How readest thou? And he answered and said, Thou shalt love Yahuwah thy Elohim with all thy heart, with all thy nephesh, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right, this do, and thou shalt live. But he, willing to justify himself, said to Yahushua, And who is my neighbor? And Yahushua answered and said, A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho, and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment, and wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. And likewise the Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him, and passed by on the other side. And a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him.
He had what?
Compassion on him.
Mm-hmm.
And went to him, and bound his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, set him up on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him.
Pause. Give me Ezekiel chapter 16. Pick him up at verse 4. See how he said he found somebody with some wounds and went and healed him and fixed his wounds up and all that good old stuff. Now look at what Yah said he did for you in Ezekiel 16, verse 4.
It says, And as for thy nativity, in the day thou was born, thy navel was not cut, neither was thou washed in the water to supple thee. Thou was not salted at all, nor swallowed at all. None I pitied thee to do any of these unto thee, to have compassion upon thee. But thou was cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person in the day that thou was born.
And the day you were born, ain't nobody had no compassion on you, cared nothing about you. You sit back and you look at America right now, that's how you feel, man. Don't nobody care nothing about you. I seen somebody get 38 hot the other day because they were like, Obama economic numbers weren't good as Trump. And they said, these numbers are bull crap. I'm like, did you even research to find out? And then at the end of the day, who even cares? Because I don't care which president it is. Don't none of them care about you. Not damn one of them. I don't care who you elect, what you do, whatever. If you foolish enough to think a politician care about our people as a whole, clear you ain't been reading their book. Because y'all ain't finna put damn politician in there who don't serve him and think he gonna do something for you. Some people like Daniel was in that position. Daniel was a servant of Yah before he got there. He was a servant of Yah before he got there. You ain't gonna get there and all of a sudden, I'm gonna do something for Yah's people. You's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Joseph was a servant of Yah before he got in Pharaoh's second seat by Pharaoh. He was already a servant of Yah. Moses walked away from it. Do you know what I'm saying? See, people throw that stuff out there, but don't take the whole totality, the whole situation of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? You got niggas like this. I like to say to everybody, I know everybody in here probably done got a vote text at some point in time in the last 30 days. You ain't got no vote for nobody text? Praise the Lord. That nigga said I blocked it. I definitely done got several. I got one today. Nigga, I can't even vote. I can't even vote. They send it to me. You know what I'm saying? I told that nigga, I don't care nothing about that. I don't want the right to vote. Let me get my gun rights back. I don't care nothing about no vote. I seen a nigga in the word say today, don't complain if you ain't voted. Vote for what? Nigga, what you mean don't complain? So when they shoot me dead in the street, I can't complain about it? Yeah, I'm gonna complain. Nigga, how you sound? I don't care nothing about what Donald Trump doing, nigga. Then it's like this, I was listening to an interview Warren Sapp, like, oh, this cause of Trump. Huh? Nigga say cause of Trump. Nigga, we from the South. Nigga, they crack a bit on that. Everybody in here, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, most of y'all in here know it was a time period you couldn't go to Ocean Way. Not by yourself, and definitely not after dark. You know what I'm saying? Now niggas stay in Ocean Way. And we talking about in the 2000s, you couldn't go out there in Ocean Way. By yourself, after dark. Come on, man. Let's just be real about it. Act like this here. Like all of a sudden, Trump made people be racist. Come on, man. I don't even know why these people been sharing that photograph of that boy hanging from that tree. That was completely disrespectful. I don't even know why you would even post that. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where it come from, but all I know is why you shot they hanging niggas. I remember they took James Byrd in the 90s and strapped him to a car and rode him around till his body parts got pulled off. Why you shot by that? So you think cause Andrew Gillum become governor of Florida, they gonna stop locking niggas up in Florida now? So you think the police gonna stop shooting niggas? So you think that at that courthouse downtown that they gonna stop shipping niggas off from Duval County for 100 years versus what they give a white boy? So you think that's gonna stop? That's how dumb we is. He's a Democrat. They gonna save her. You tell me something a Democrat did for a black person, period. Nothing. And we still look to that. We don't never look at y'all.
They still wanted slavery. They
Yeah.
still wanted slavery.
Yeah, that mean they created the KKK. They was behind that. But my point is we'll look to, it tell you that in Lamentations. Go on and get it to them in Lamentations. I think it's Lamentations 5. This is what we like to do right here. Instead of looking for the person who can have mercy, we like to look at people who don't want to have no mercy. This is our problem. Let me make sure I got the right spot. What are you doing? Lamentations chapter 4? It might be chapter 5. Just give me 5 and 5 for the moment.
Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. We have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread. Our fathers have sinned and are not. We have bore their iniquities. Servants have ruled over us, and there is none that doth deliver us out of their hand.
Ain't nobody gonna come get you out their hand. Get Lamentation chapter 4, give them verse 15. So you sit back and look at it, they say servants rule over us. Come on, man. Listen what verse 15 say in Lamentation 4.
It said, they cried unto them, depart ye, it is unclean, depart, touch not. When they fled away and wandered, they said among the heathen, they shall no more sojourn there. The anger of Yahuwah hath divided them. He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priests, they favored not the elders.
And Lord, what we do?
As for us, our eyes have yet failed for our vain help.
For our worthless help.
In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
These people can't save us, and we steady looking for them in shock when they don't do it. Because we should be looking for the person who can save us, who loving kind. Like, now, I'm not just saying it just be said, but when in the history that we've been in this country have they ever showed any loving kindness towards us? When have they ever came with anything to draw us with loving kindness that didn't have an ulterior motive behind it? Y'all don't have an ulterior motive behind anything that he offers. All he wants us to do is return unto him, and we don't want to do it. These people are never going to give us the kindness and mercy that we seek. Never. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about just white people. I'm talking about the nations, period. And that's not no disrespect to them. It's not, they not supposed to be the ones we supposed to be seeking that after. They not supposed to be. They people like we people. But the difference is we look at it and we see the things that they have and we desire that. We desire their wealth. We desire their power. We desire to make decisions for ourselves. And we feel like if we do this or we do that, they'll love us now. They'll treat us better. When Yah never treated you wrong. And you would never love him in return. And that's the issue. And then if you turn around and you look at if you love Yah, then you should love other people. That's one of the reasons why he told you to love your enemy. We didn't talk about that before. You know how difficult it is for somebody to fathom to love somebody who don't like them? See, most brothers, when they hear that, they automatically see the white man put that in there to make you love your oppressor. That wasn't written for them. You know what I'm saying? They used that to probably exploit that point to you while you were enslaved. But he was talking to other brews and dealing with other brews. Because other brews didn't want to believe that you had enemies of your own people. Like everybody who was a Hebrew got along. You know what I'm saying? You see Saul and David didn't get along. And you also seen David show nothing but loving kindness to Saul every single time. But the one time David wasn't finna show compassion was with Nabal. He was going to kill him. He had to send Abigail to tell him not to do it. Because he definitely was finna kill him. And you know what he was going to kill him off of? Off his emotions. And sat back and forgot about, well, shoot, no, I might have taken that back. He hadn't pulled that move with Bathsheba yet. He hadn't done that yet. He was hot, though. And was about to go commit a sin and avenge his own hand. See, just that quickly. And that's another instance of, when you look at the two things, like mentioning with David, like with him and Bathsheba, or that situation with Nabal, that's how your flesh will get you in trouble. See, Abigail was there to stop him on that one. It wasn't nobody to stop him with Bathsheba. He knew he was wrong when he did it. That's how your flesh gets you in trouble. That's why I sit back and tell you, like, you in the Word, you're going to have emotions. But if you let your emotions dictate and cloud your judgment and how you think and how you see things, you're going to bust hell wide open, because you ain't going to never be able to receive the Spirit. He ain't going to never be able to dwell with you, because the carnal mind and the spiritual mind, they can't exist in the same place. They can't exist in the same place. It's impossible. Because like you said, you can't serve. We read it earlier. You can't serve two masters. So which one you going to serve? You going to serve your flesh and how you feeling in the moment? Because see, the first thing you have to sit back when you hear something, the first thing, if you react immediately, you reacted off your emotions, and you probably going to judge wrong. You can't react off your emotions. Your emotions will lead you astray. And then on top of that, if a person sees that you react off emotion, then they can use your emotions against you, if they skillful enough. And you won't even know that your emotions are being used against you, because you're reacting off of them, and they cloud your judgment, they cloud the way you think. Because all you're going is how you feel right then. People look for that. That's why politicians do the stuff that they do, is to gather to raise your emotions up. That's why the movies do what they do, and music does what, is to get your emotions stoked. Once I got your emotions involved, then I can hit you off with what I really want to hit you off with, to steer you in the direction that I really want you to go. When you look at the world likes to keep you in an emotional state. See, you look at emotional as just being sad or tears and all this type of stuff. When it's your flesh. It's to keep you in a carnal state, to think along those lines. Yah don't want you to think in that aspect. He wants you to think according to the Spirit. That's why we read that verse last night, and he told you to choose judgment. Because if you choose judgment, then you choose in him. And if you choose in him, then you hope in his word, and you're moved by his Spirit and not your flesh. And therefore, you won't just react off of stuff. That's why he say don't judge according to appearance. Judge righteous judgment. Because your flesh will damn you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to damn you. And if you're carnal, you are a lot easier to be manipulated. You can be manipulated quite easily. That's why when you look at most brews and you look at most Christian churches, they use emotion to draw people in. What I got y'all? I got you on this. Is that Ezekiel 16? Where's your jacket, Pot? Hot. What are you doing? Back to Ezekiel 16, what verse was it? Verse 5.
It said, none I pity thee to do any of these things unto thee. I have compassion upon thee, but thou was cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person in the day that I was born. And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thy own blood, I said unto thee, live. When thou was in thy blood, live. Yea, I said unto thee, when thou was in thy blood, live.
When you was in your sins, I told you to live.
I have caused thee to multiply as the bud of the field.
That's good, right? That's good. So that goes back to what we read also last night about While we were yet sinners, Hamashiach died for the ungodly because nobody else had pity upon you to look upon you and say, live. Nobody had any love and compassion on you to forgive you. This is why we go back to what we were looking at in Luke 17 and in Matthew 18 when he tell you to forgive. See, give me Colossians, right? Colossians chapter 4. Those things. What you doing? No, Colossians chapter 3. And get it verse 9. 3 and 9.
Lie not one to another, saying that you have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him, where there is neither Greek nor Yahudim, circumcision or uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond or free, but the Mashiach in all. It said, but therefore, okay.
You got your business in the street.
I'm sorry, hold on. I don't know what it said.
I got you.
I think it says the love of Allah.
He say, put on therefore as the elect of Elohim, Kadash and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering. Now notice that if we sit back and we look at kindness, that's one of the things he mentioned for love, correct? When you also look at humbleness of mind, that's one of the things he mentioned of love, because love doesn't vaunt itself up or lift itself up or puff itself up. Meekness and long suffering, saying forbearing one another and forgiving one another. And if any man have a quarrel against any, even as a Mashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things, put on love, which is the bond of perfectness. So he sit back and tell you that if you got an issue with anybody, he said, forgive them as this man has forgiven you. And then when you do that, to have love, because this is the bond or join you to what's going to make you perfect. Let's go back to what we were talking about with the tool. You take that covenant, you join together with the Son, and what is that going to make you? It's going to make you perfect. It's going to make you complete. It's going to make you innocent. It's going to make you have integrity. This is why he says that without love, I am nothing. And that's the love of Elohim. And you sit back and look at it, right? That's why I asked y'all that last week, going through those things in 1 Corinthians 13, about, because you should have been looking at that when you were looking at it and really honestly assessing in yourself, where is the love of Elohim in you at this present time? Not just with your wife, but period. Do you really actually possess long suffering? You know what I'm saying? Like really possess it. Not saying I feel like I'm patient. I feel like I'm slow to anger. Do you really possess that? Because if you don't, then Yah's not in you yet. Do you really possess kindness? Are you really humble? You ain't vaunting yourself. You're not lifting yourself up. Are you not really envious? Is there really these things there? Because this is having his mind and putting him on, which means his ruach is in you, which means you quicken to life everlasting. Not just with your spouse, but to anybody you come across, anybody you deal with. Because like I told you before, if you do something for somebody and you seek something in return, you ain't showing love, you doing business. I ain't talking about you lent something to somebody and they repaid you, because that's a different scenario. I'm talking about you did something with somebody with the expectation of receiving something in return. Give me Luke 6, since I said that, about verse 33. You're not a baby anymore. You're not a baby anymore. Luke 6 and 33.
And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thing have ye? For sinners also do the same. And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thanks have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love your enemies and do good, and lending and hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great.
Lending and do what?
Hoping for nothing again.
And your reward will be what?
Great.
Why?
And ye shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil.
See that there, and that's again about the love of Elohim. So you think y'all only kind to people who obey him? We can definitely go in their word to see him being kind to transgressors. How else he say he gonna draw you with loving kindness. So people don't even realize that there. You could win your enemy by being kind to him. That's why he say when your enemy hungry, what he told you to do. Give him something to eat. And if he thirsty, give him something to drink. He said at the bare minimum, you're heaping coals of fire on his head. At the bare maximum, he might turn to Yahuwah. Because guess what Yahushua did? You was his enemy, and when you were hungry, he gave you bread to eat. He gave you his flesh. And when you was thirsty, he gave you something to drink. He gave you his blood. You was definitely his enemy at that particular time. Yet he didn't say I wasn't going to be kind to you, did he? He didn't do that, did he? Guess what? You was his enemies in the wilderness, and you asked for quails, and he gave it to you. You asked for manna, and he gave it to you. You asked for water, and he gave it to you. You cried out for him to protect you from your enemies, and he did so. Did he have to do it? No, he did. So then when you see take on those attributes, when you see him doing that, you definitely should be doing it to your spouse if you're married, but you should be doing it to everybody you come across. Because see, we know sometimes I already know most of y'all in here for the most part, sometimes y'all going to try to spare your spouse ego. You ain't going to want to put him on blast in front of everybody. Ain't no need for that. You go ahead and tell the truth. Ain't no way old people tell the truth and shame the devil. It's better go ahead and tell them the truth than try to spare their ego. You know what happens when you spare people's ego? They stay strengthened in whatever it is they got going on. Don't spare nobody's ego. See, we were talking about the other day, like, they were trying to be nice and tell me my picture was nice. My picture was atrocious. And that's okay. You can tell me that. Oh, it was that bad. Muff's part in the photograph wasn't that bad. My part was bad. Oh, look at that. Shoot, nigga, that nigga was retarded. That nigga trunk looked like it was broken. Ain't even no bones in it. Huh? That's what I'm saying. But it looked like it was broken, even though it ain't got no bones in it. That nigga trunk definitely looked broke. You seen it. It was that bad.
I don't like an elephant, bro. Looking like it look like you paying another animal.
That paint was horrible. My paint didn't look like nobody else's. Yeah, I mean, I've seen worse too, but I don't mean.
You look like an elephant, bro.
No.
That elephant. Nobody said it was the best in the room.
It was the worst in the room.
It was. But nobody said it was.
No, because you tried to tell me that it was okay. It wasn't okay. You didn't have to tell me it was okay to make me feel good. I knew that it wasn't.
That's how everybody felt.
I feel like you did good. You did good.
I don't care if I was a painter or not. Don't lie to me. Don't try to make me feel good.
You know what I'm saying? If it came on like her paint, it came out pretty decent for her not being painted. She can't even draw. And then I was like, that's all right.
So clearly the nigga can draw.
Everybody doing right.
Mine was horrible.
But you started out trying to catch up though at the same time, so you didn't see her pattern that you could follow.
No, that was just with the sunset, buddy. That was just with the sunset. That definitely wasn't with the thing. But I told you I ain't got good motor skills.
But then when you was having children help you paint too.
No, not with the elephant. They was just with painting the sunset. Yeah, that was all me. I can't take credit for that. The children helped with the trees. And after that, the leaves, that was just one child, because inside got her own paint.
And then y'all gotta think what y'all was picking on. Y'all canvas is important.
Man, you know how many times I done watched that white man with that afro? You at least thought you'd be able to do something. He make that joint look so easy. You know what I'm talking about? He like, he said, let's put a little cloud. Think of my clouds, they ain't even look like clouds. That joint look like snot.
They put canvas and build it.
Nah, but all jokes aside, I asked. She said she watched that. Everybody watched that white dude with it. If any black person wanted to paint, and they ended up painting it because that white man with that afro. Because it was a Sunday morning. Your people ain't had cable, and you was looking at PBS, and there he goes. Shoot, you watch it a lot when you ain't got no cable. You know what I'm talking about? You'll be surprised what you watch when you ain't got no cable. Shoot. You go to sit there, you go to hear him talk, he talks so gently, he just make you want to watch it.
I want to see how it ends when she ended.
You know what I'm saying? That's when you catch it like, man, what am I watch? You see, first you in rapture because the white man got an afro. Do you know what I'm saying? So he stuck on this because this man got a perfect fro. You know what I'm saying? Then he just go to talking.
He dead.
Yeah, he been there. Been there for a long time. He probably been there about 20 years.
I don't know about no
Shoot, that man was old.
I remember him dying. I was in like middle school.
Man, that nigga probably been dead for a long. A lot of them episodes was definitely reruns.
Yeah, about 12 years now.
So probably we'll see when we get done. Cause we about done anyway. Shoot, I think that nigga been dead for a long time.
Not no dog. I can say dog.
Shoot, but I think he probably been dead since, I don't know his name though.
12, 15. That was
That he could. What I got you on?
I just finished doing it.
Yeah, that's like this here, man. So we come on back to well, we would start right there to hit what we need to hit because it's 10 minutes to 5. But when you look at the attributes of kindness, it's encapsulated in what we looked at today was just forgiveness. Touched on some of the things. The fourth is the words that you speak. Because we done dealt with mercy in another aspect, so that's why we didn't really delve into that too deeply. But Most High willing, I think the next one we'll get to is humility and not lifting yourself up in pride, so that you can see these things. Like the reason why we isolating each thing like that, and then trying to look at it so you can see these things, and then see how you can be able to take that and apply that yourself, versus saying, "Oh, be humble." Like you can see when he say love and kindness, you want to draw somebody to you. Then you need to be forgiving. You need to be merciful. You need to be good to them. You need to be conscientious of the words that you speak to them, and then you end up becoming like him. You know what I'm saying? There were times Hamashiach was sporty out the mouth. We definitely know that. You know what I'm saying? But it's also more times than not, though. It also depends on who he was talking to. You know, he loved the disciples, but there's a couple times he went off on them too. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a little different now because we live in a day and time where everybody is very, very sensitive. You know what I'm saying? People's feelings get hurt very, very quickly. But hallelujah for Yahushua and the word. And bless y'all on the stream. Appreciate y'all. Y'all willing? We pick it up on Wednesday. I'm going to wait for her to come back in the room so we can deal with what we're going to deal with.